One thing that has perhaps transformed me the most or affected me very deeply, and which I feel is very treasurable that these courses are offering, is the fact that they give initiations. So you learn also theories about all kinds of aspects, but also you are learning certain initiations where you enter, for example, the reality through the eyes of what in Tantra is called the great macrocosmic powers. So the great knowledges of the universe. You could say like 10 different lenses through which you can look at creation. And they're very, very different. And you will learn them both as laws that govern certain aspects of life, like time, death, transformation. But you will also get to know them somehow as entities, as beings, and by relating to them, all of them really helped me to see life from a completely different aspect. And this is so fascinating because us as human beings, we go through life with our own worldview. We come with a certain package, and then now by this practice with these macrocosmic powers, it's like you enter an entire different existence, that now as if I got to live many different lives, because also in a life you are a certain way, you think a certain way, you have certain experience, and they color your relationships, they color your purpose in life. But when you enter this communion with one of these great powers, then suddenly you can see the world as a play of beauty and magic and wonder. Or you enter a totally different power which would show you that actually everything in essence is just made of smoke and it's not really real, it's a show on a screen. Or you enter another of these powers and suddenly you see life as a continuous game of sacrifice and burning, and all of them are true and all of them are very unique perspectives, and usually we have one more naturally, and that's how we see things and that's how we think the world is. And by them it's like you have such a soul awakening experience by connecting to these different powers, because suddenly you get such an enriched approach to being which you cannot undo. It's like you suddenly have been reborn 100 times in all kinds of different ways, and now you have assimilated that. So I feel this is very precious to get these kinds of tools, that you even receive mantras to work with them, to assimilate all that insight and the understandings that come with it, the knowledge, the experience even, and they shape you on a very deep level. That gives a very fast kind of spiritual awakening that is ancient. I mean, this is not something that now we are doing here for the first time. These are ancient traditions, and we are practicing now today in this time and age where we are quite disconnected from these kinds of ancient traditions and rituals, and it's bringing it very practically into how to apply it in our lives. So in the course you learn about them without compromising the teachings, really getting access to the actual energy, but also very accessible and understandable, relatable. Okay, and what would it mean for me? So this is something that I would really want to share with people who are looking genuinely for a spiritual path, that this school is actually offering these kinds of initiations which are very precious. And in the past you would have to, I don't know, work a lot, offer a lot to get such access to these things, and here they are also offered. Of course, also in a certain rhythm and certain integration, but it's actually here and it's accessible, and this is quite a big gift, I feel, to be able to experience. And my favorite one at the moment, because sometimes it changes, actually I would say two. So one of them, this macrocosmic power, is also called Lakshmi or Kamalatmika. And it's this experience of the fulfillment, the perfection, the accomplishments of things, like the crowning of achievement somehow. And this is something that I can feel in my being, this ultimate ecstatic experience of the fullness of life, and that things are a very lively celebration of creation, where I can somehow relate to that abundant feeling of pure existence. And the other one is called Dhumavati, and she is this experience of total emptiness, of letting go of everything. And when you have let go and lost and abandoned fully to this desert, you actually find that same fullness that Lakshmi represents, this abundance, but by daring to dissolve into this nothingness. And she gives also this access to very high and refined states of consciousness, but in a very, very subtle, very, very silent way, through almost like a dissolving into nothingness.